voters aren't thick. BBC host slams Nick Clegg for his attempts to overturn Brexit. The former Liberal Democrat leader said the British public were fed false promises in the lead-up to the Brexit referendum. He added MPs should consider that when voting on a Brexit deal in the House of Commons before it is put before the European Parliament. But he denied the claim by presenter John Humphrys that he thought voters were stupid and said the host's comments were patronising to the electorate. Speaking on the Today programme on BBC Radio 4, Humphrys said Brexiteers voted because they thought it was the right thing to do. In response to Mr. Clegg saying Brexit voters were lied to about border control and money to the NHS, he said, all because they decided that was the right thing to do. Maybe they're not as thick as all that. But the former Deputy Prime Minister tried to defend his position. He said, no, they're not thick. How patronising to the electorate. Humphrys was not finished, however, and highlighted threats made by the Remain camp during the referendum. He said, I'm suggesting that's precisely what you're suggesting, that they were made promises. Well, of course they were made promises. Everybody's made promises, by all parties. Shall I give you some threats that were issued from the other side instead? Mr. Clegg added Brexiteers had to take responsibility for promises they had made during the EU referendum campaign. Theresa May will today raise the stakes in the Brexit negotiations by warning EU chiefs the ball is in their court. In a sign of growing frustration at the slow progress of talks, the Prime Minister will say Brussels must stop its stonewalling. She wants European Union negotiators to come back with a constructive response to her proposals for a future trade deal. Mrs. May will speak in the Commons this afternoon after government sources confirmed she has authorised a multi-billion-pound overhaul of Britain's border controls to be implemented immediately should the Brexit talks collapse. Her remarks are expected to be seen as the clearest signal yet that ministers are drastically accelerating contingency preparations for walking out of the Brussels talks without a deal.